Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today I'm going to be bringing you a rather different topic about why I believe that Hellboy was chosen over Spawn for Fighter Pack 2. Now yes, there is one Fighter Pack left, and as expected we will most likely get another guest character, but I highly doubt it will be Spawn, and here are the reasons why. Warner Brothers has a massive reputation for putting in kind of like guest characters into their fighting games. A great example of this is Mortal Kombat X, which had the incorporation of Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, Alien, and Predator. Now the main reason why Warner Brothers actually does this is in order to cross-promote. Now for those of you who don't understand the whole concept of that, is that by incorporating a certain character or brand in something else, they hope that it will gain enough popularity that it will attract that audience and bring it over to what it originated from. Hence why the incorporation of 4 guest characters. It's more or less the equivalent of product placement in film. You see something really cool in a film, and if you're attracted to it, you'll most likely want to purchase it for yourself. Hence why Hellboy is put in here. Warner Brothers makes a lot of money out of it, as the studio will pay them to put that character in their game. Not only do they earn money from the other studio, but they also earn money from the people who actually purchase the character. It's a very clever marketing tactic, and to kind of give my point more validity, a lot of the guest characters you actually did see in Mortal Kombat X was scheduled for film release 1 or 2 years later. A new Friday the 13th film was scheduled in the works to come out this year, but was cancelled a few months ago. Leatherface was also DLC and has a new film scheduled to release on the 20th of October this year. A new Predator film was scheduled to come out this year as well, but has in fact been pushed to summer 2018, and Alien got Alien Covenant earlier on this year. That movie. But you can see the point I'm making here. All the DLC characters that had featured in that game were put in there to cross-promote and help those films out. And I understand that some people would just say it's all just a coincidence, but we don't get Jason films often, we sure as hell don't get Predator films that often, and I'm pretty sure no one was asking for Leatherface as DLC for Kombat Pack 2. The only one that's being kept relevant and quite alive right now is the Alien franchise, and they use the term alive for that franchise very loosely. Yeah, I don't like that film. Who knows, maybe actually one day I'll review it. But anyway, let's actually go back on topic. How are the facts here relevant to what I stated with Hellboy and Spawn? Well, for those of you who don't actually quite know, there is a new Hellboy movie in the works. A reboot, in fact. Unfortunately, it seems like Ron Perlman will not be part of it. For now, they're still in the very early stages of casting, but it's quite evident from here that they want to do some form of cross-promotion to help get some people behind the film, as it's been a very long time since Hellboy has had some really kind of strong media exposure. With the tons and tons of superhero films coming out yearly, they'd understandably be quite scared of getting lost in the shuffle. Now this Hellboy movie is scheduled to be released next year, so this is what I believe is the main reason for Hellboy actually being put in as DLC instead of Spawn. We'll get over to Spawn in a second. Now though a script hasn't been made and it's not all solid in stone, the Hellboy movies are comic book action films with supernatural elements to them. They've never been full-on blown out horror. They have always been superhero films, and I put a lot of emphasis on superhero movies because this can relate to the difference in reboot between Hellboy and Spawn. We'll get to Spawn in a second. But with superhero movies being at the height of their popularity, the people behind Hellboy obviously want this film to be a success, and thus they've had their main star put into 2017's biggest superhero fighter. That is the main reason why he's here. But the real question is, why has he been chosen over Spawn? In character polls and multiple times, people have been demanding for this character to be part of this game, as he does fit the superhero archetype, doesn't he? Well, here are where things get quite strange and very different. Now though Spawn may be a superhero based character, he is an anti-hero at heart. If anything, he's like a supernatural version of the Punisher, if the Punisher made a deal with the devil and he was horrifically scarred and he had no penis and the red cape. Don't know why I add that penis part. But the point that I'm trying to make here really is that Spawn is an anti-hero that really does kind of push the limits of dipping into the horror genre, and this is where McFarlane comes in, the creator of the character and owner of Spawn. Now once again we're going to go back to movies, but recently Todd McFarlane has confirmed that a Spawn movie is now going to be in the works. But the one thing he has stated numerous times and wanted to drill into our minds is that this film is not going to be a superhero movie. It is a horror film at heart. He doesn't want it to be cookie cutter and be like other films of the superhero genre, and do something completely new and very different. Now here's a fun little guest character DLC theory. If you're not a Mortal Kombat character, but a superhero character, your chances of actually making it in as DLC is most certainly high. But a horror character? I'm not sure. That seems like something that would fit into a Mortal Kombat game. And the Spawn movie is scheduled to come out in 2019, and the next Mortal Kombat game will most likely be revealed next year, 2018, which will be probably released a year after in 2019, you can probably see where I'm going here with connecting these dots. Now, as much as I do like Spawn, and I personally do feel like he'd fit into the game, Todd McFarlane's obviously trying to rebuild and restructure this character into more of a horror icon than a superhero symbol. It's obvious he wants to take the character in a very different direction than what standard comic book stuff is currently producing. Remember, since he owns the character, he does have a say in what is going on, but he's also gone down in an interview and said that he would love the character to be in Injustice 2. So we have two contradicting arguments here, meaning that there's always a chance of him making it in Fighter Pack 3. Because let's face it, in each different DLC pack produced by NetherRealm Studios, there's always going to be that one big thing that's going to try and make you grab your wallet. For Fighter Pack 1, it was Red Hood. The character was obviously shipped off into DLC to guarantee your purchase. Hellboy was shipped into Fighter Pack 2 along with Black Manta to help it sell a lot. Now, I'm not trying to discredit the other people in that DLC pack, but for a large majority, those individuals will be the main selling point of that DLC pack. Now, some of you may be saying that I'm looking a little bit too much into this, especially with the cross promotion with their film, but with the points I've put here and the fact that in the last few years the gaming industry has in fact made more money than the movie industry, cough cough DLC, it would be foolish for a studio to not actually think of a way to cross promote. As someone who's a movie critic and a gamer, I can most certainly see a trend here, especially with how certain studios and creators are trying to handle their properties, that being Hellboy and Spawn. Because remember, at the end of the day, certain companies will not care about what you want. It's whatever puts money in their pockets, but obviously they still want to keep in mind that they can satisfy a customer. So just because they can't do it now doesn't mean that they won't do it later. And in saying that, Spawn always does have the possibility of making it in Fighter Pack 3, as they'll need something to help sell that fighter pack. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Hopefully it's been quite insightful. I've been looking into this video for a few days now, as I know a lot of people have been discussing and kind of been upset with the fact that we got Hellboy instead of Spawn, but I hope with the many reasons I've put here, you can kind of take into account and see what's actually going on with the game outside of just the game. Remember, a lot of the stuff they put in here is to help sell and cross promote stuff. I always would go back to product placement. That's what guest characters essentially are. Yes, of course, they're fighting game characters with many layers of how they play, but they are also put in there to help sell a certain product. So please do keep that in mind. Anyway, this does kind of wrap up the video. I'm sorry if this has been very different to what I normally do, but I felt like I needed to put this out there as people at the moment are kind of confused. Also, just before this video wraps up, this isn't NetherRealm Studios' fault. Remember, they work under Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers are the people to in fact handle characters and where they're actually put. So it's by no means their fault at all, because at this point, they're literally being told by a boss of what they have to do with their product. So yeah, that's kind of it for now. Now, before this video wraps up, guys, if possible, let's try getting it to about 500 likes, as it's a great way of supporting this channel, as YouTube's ad system is broken as hell. Now, please also do share this around, as it will bring this issue more to light. Anyway, as always, guys, please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I'll see you all next time.